Good morning, loves, and I do mean good morning because you have just opened your eyes to a beautiful week in astrology. Welcome to Just Another Magic Monday. My name is Haley, like the comet, hence Haley Comet, and welcome to your astrology forecast for the week of August 15th to August 21st. I am here every single Monday morning, here to guide you into the week's astrology and really translate the stars so that you know how to take advantage of some of the blessings within the week ahead and how to mitigate any challenges. Okay, so what makes this week so seriously blessed? And can I just say, we deserve a seriously blessed week. Do we not? Do we not? The last couple weeks, I'm like sitting down for Magic Monday every week, like, okay, time to talk about this intense full moon, time to talk about the Saturn aspect, time to talk about Uranus. My gosh, it's been intense, right? And it's not to say that the work that we've been doing is over. Certainly moving into the end of August, we move into more sticky astrology, but let's stay in the now. Let's stay in the now. Let's relish in the good astrology this week. The good astrology I speak of, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and pleasure and luxury in the sign Leo, and it makes a nice little trine to Jupiter and Aries. So it's expanding everything in our life that is enjoyable and pleasurable. It's expanding money. It's expanding love. And then also this weekend, Mars enters Gemini, where it's settling in for a long stay. A very long stay. You can check out my video on Mars retrograde in Gemini through the signs to know where you're doing this Gemini-Mars work around, because it's time to get cozy. It's going to be there for 7 months. But the reason why this is a good thing is because at least Mars is leaving territory that it does not like. Mars does not enjoy being in Taurus. It is not dignified in Taurus. So even though we're going to have to work on some Mars stuff as we move into the rest of this year and early 2023, at least Mars is somewhat of a happier Mars, and it's going to kind of invigorate our social world as well. So all in all, this is such a beautiful week full of blessings. I can't wait to chat you through them. Before I do though, you might be asking, Haley, what is glowing radioactive within your hand? And guys, I tried. I came on here in my little cosmic corner and I told you guys that I was gonna try to stop drinking Celsiuses, and I'm back. I get to the supermarket and my Virgo moon cannot resist a good deal. Like when I go grocery shopping, it's a little intense. I will go to multiple stores to get the best deal. I will get the apps, I will scan the coupons, I will stop at nothing to get the best deal. And when I get to the supermarket and they're doing something like this, I think it was up to 10 each one for 75 cents. I couldn't resist. They're usually like $4 or $5, guys. So unfortunately I have a whole case. So anyways, without further ado, let's take it into Vibe Check of the Week. So if you are new here, firstly, I apologize for my extreme couponing rant. Secondly, Vibe Check of the Week is a segment I do in Magic Monday every single week where I liken what the week's astrology feels like, because that's my chief aim here on this channel, is to make astrology as tangible and as accessible and as applicable to your life, like navigating your daily reality, as possible. I know we talk about planets that are very, very far away. So I liken what the astrology feels like to a real life scenario. So just in case you don't necessarily understand all the intricacies of Venus trining Jupiter, you can liken it to a real life scenario and find more applications for your world. So for the purpose of the vibe check, I'm just going to paint a little picture. I'm going to paint a little picture for you. So this week feels like going on a vacation, perhaps with your family. Maybe you guys are going to Bora Bora. Let's say you guys are going to Bora Bora. You're staying at this resort and you go to the pool by yourself and you see a cutie, and maybe it's just because you're out of your normal, stomping grounds, you're feeling a little bit more bold, so you dare to go up and strike a conversation and you guys hit it off. Would you hit it off outside of vacation? Maybe not. And you both live on opposite sides of the country. It's never really going to go anywhere, but you guys are really enjoying one another's company. You guys go to dinner, you guys meet up at the hotel tennis court to play tennis. It's just this like fun little fling thing, and you guys aren't pressuring it around trying to be like, well, we need to write when you get back to Minnesota and I get back to Nevada. It's like, let's just have fun. Let's get to know one another. It's just like a light-hearted fling where it's that. You guys got to know each other. It was fun. You learned about them. They learned about you. You guys learned about Bora Bora. It was what it was. And whenever you think about that Bora Bora trip, you just kind of smile. You're like, I hope that person is doing well. How fun of an experience was that? And how sort of out of character for me to go up and start a conversation with someone, because there is a very social vibe about this week. We have Venus trining Jupiter. We have Mars entering Gemini. A lot of us are feeling a little bit more open to other individuals and open to connection. So you may find that you're more inclined to want to start a conversation with someone. And when it comes to Venus trine Jupiter, I mean, this is really just feeling more beautiful, feeling more abundant, feeling more confident as well. So maybe like with the influence, Jupiter is in Aries, maybe it's just feeling more bold and confident and courageous and attracting more good to you because of that. It is so strange to me how so many experiences in our world wouldn't happen if we didn't dare to go up and say hi to someone. Isn't that interesting when you think about it? Like how many experiences you wouldn't have, or the people that you wouldn't know, if that conversation had never been initiated. And oftentimes, especially if you are someone who is more nervous in social situations, I 100% understand that. But with this particular week, it's like, let's just be open. Let's be open to connection. We don't need to make it this whole thing. We can just get to know one another and feel more optimistic and feel more expansive about the world. Like maybe this individual took you on this secret hike that they had found out from one of like the locals, and you guys got to go on it, and it was like, what would this trip to Bora Bora be if I didn't like reach out and say hello? So this week truly bodes well when it comes to money, abundance, love, all of these beautiful things. Thank you, Jupiter. Thank you, Venus. We deserve it, okay? We've been going through all this Saturn stuff, all this Uranus stuff. So I'm going to break this down day by day. Do know that timestamps are below, so you can always come back at a later time if you want to reflect on the week. All times that I mention will be PDTs, so make sure to adjust to your time zone before putting it into your planner. Or if you want your planner already done for you, I do want to let you know that at the Galaxy tier in Magic Monthly, I make a digital planner for you every single month. At the Planets tier, I make a little printable calendar for you every single month with all of the aspects so that you know what's on the horizon. But without further ado, let's dive into Monday's astrology. Oh my gosh, I just spaced out so hard on camera. Wow, I don't know how long that was recording with me just looking off into the distance. Just Pisces things. So good morning. Welcome to your forecast for Monday, August 15th. So the moon is in Aries all day. It is moon day. And with the Aries moon, we can feel that we are more initiative. We are more go-getter, especially with the Aries moon meeting up with Jupiter. This is optimism. This is expansiveness. This is you walking the hotel pool and seeing someone that you're drawn to and being like, whatever, I'm not in my hometown. I'm never going to see this person again. Let me just be bold. So this morning, it exacts very early, around 4 a.m. PDT. I would definitely recommend like taking some space and some time to journal about what it is that you want from your week, or to sort of fill your tank of gratitude, like focusing on what it is that you are grateful for. A grateful heart is a magnet for blessings. I know it's corny, but it's true. And Jupiter really speaks to that, because Jupiter is the planet of abundance and optimism. And sometimes people can say that Jupiter is overrated. And we have a lot of Jupiter this week. And what I want to say about that is that Jupiter can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, and that it imbues us with this big picture lens, with this gratitude, with this feeling of expansiveness, this feeling of moving in a right direction. And sometimes we do have to meet that halfway. So I do want to let you know on Monday morning would be such a great time to just reflect on what in your world you are grateful for, launch out some rockets of desire of new things that you would want, like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be cool if this and this and this? And then if there's an opportunity, or you get a nudge around, why don't you ask that person to collaborate? Or why don't you work on that project, even though it scares you a little bit? This is a moon aspect. Keep in mind, it's moon aspect, so it's brief. But this morning, like really activating that and being like, let me make it happen. Let me believe in myself. Like Jupiter gives us opportunity, but it's up to us to take it. So with the Aries moon, be bold, be courageous. And And I do want to let you know that that evening, the moon does conjoin Chiron. And so this is sort of the vibe around after you chatted, you know, at the hotel, but you guys exchanged numbers because you guys are going to go on this snorkeling adventure tomorrow together. You get back to the hotel and you're like, oh, did I talk too much? Did I talk too little? Did they think I looked weird in my swimsuit? Like it can be a very self-conscious vibe. It could be a very insecure vibe. So I just want to let you know that is the vibe moving into Monday evening. And I want you to feel what comes to the surface, but continue to nurture that Jupiter energy, like returning to the big picture. Like in the big picture, it does not matter how I looked in my swimsuit. In the big picture, we're hanging out tomorrow. I doubt this person thought I was too weird. Like, return to the big picture. Like, you can acknowledge those wounds or insecurities, but do know that no one in this world is thinking about you as much as you think about you. You know, and this is the gift of Aries energy, is like, draw the focus back to yourself. Don't leak out your energy trying to be everything to everybody. And then on Tuesday, we have Mercury in Virgo trining Uranus in Taurus, which is very communicative. It's in the mood to have some brand new conversations, as well as to write down some important ideas that come to the surface. I know this week is sort of relationship oriented, but I do want to let you know that Venus's blessings and definitely Mercury's blessings aren't just limited to love and relationships. Another really important facet of this week that I want to chat you through is that this weekend, Mercury enters its pre-retrograde shadow, which means that this weekend, Mercury is going to enter degrees that it'll eventually traverse backwards through. So with that in mind, particularly with this Mercury aspect on Tuesday, I want you to notice what ideas come to the surface. And it's not that you need to pressure and rush a launch or anything of that nature. Everything's unfolding in divine timing. But if possible, if there is something that you want to work with during the Mercury retrograde, plant the seeds now. Mercury retrograde and the forthcoming Mars retrograde aren't mean for no reason, or it doesn't just like ruin your life. It's a cosmic slowdown, and it's up to you to work with that energy. With Mercury retrograde, it can honestly be amazing when it comes to finishing off projects and tying up loose ends and rewriting and revising. So what I would encourage, knowing that essentially starting this weekend, we're officially in pre-Mercury retrograde, so launching brand new things aren't encouraged. I would plant the seeds on Tuesday if you can. You don't have to launch it, but let's say you get this idea for a novel. Write the first couple sentences, like do something to kind of put it into the ethers so that during the forthcoming Mercury retrograde and even Mars retrograde, you can work with it, refine. That's what retrograde's great with, in looking at things from the past that we want to tie up, that we want to complete, that we want to look at and tweak and adjust. So with Mercury trine Uranus, it does encourage new ideas, and Mercury is very strong in Virgo, so it can be really intelligent, good ideas. So pay attention to conversations that you have on Tuesday, ideas that come up. I would definitely journal. Take some time to just allow the Uranian bolts of inspiration to come into your world. I also want to say this can be a very social energy, which is why the vibe check is about daring to initiate a conversation, right? Like with Mercury trine Uranus, it is this energy around feeling inspired by connections. Like maybe they could give you an idea, or even just the version of yourself that you meet when you are talking to someone new. Not to get so deep here, but it's interesting in, not gonna give any details, but in, vacation dalliances, romances that I've had, when you're chatting with someone where it's like you don't know them, you're total strangers, you're not from here, it's almost like you're not in real life. It's like when you're talking to them, you could be anybody and they don't know anything about you. And you're not as bound by, the role that you play within your friend group and all of these things. It's like you could be, who knows who you could be. And I'm not saying lie or anything of that nature, but there is this fun, freeing energy when you are chatting with someone new. It's like, you don't know anything about me. So you can almost like experiment with different versions of yourself, like being like, okay, does it Does it feel aligned for me to be a little bit more bold in conversations? Does it feel aligned for me to be a little bit more coy? It's sort of like being able to be inspired by connecting with new individuals as well as connecting with different versions of ourselves. So with that being said, just on Tuesday, pay attention to the conversations that you have, new ideas that you have, and start a conversation with someone new. You never know the light bulb moments that can emerge. We also have the waning gibbous moon, which is all about connecting and collaborating and mentoring and learning. This is the moon phase, also called the disseminating moon, that is about sharing. So just a really great time on Tuesday to connect, whether it is online. You know, I will say, Mercury, trine Uranus. Uranus is technology, so if there was a time to be swiping on New Eat, this would be the time. And I do want to highlight, if you're not familiar with New Eat, it is an astrology dating app. I deeply recommend it. I am their lead astrologer, so if there's ever a time that you've been wanting to meet somebody who has stellar astrological compatibility with you, consider Tuesday. In regards to Tuesday, I do want to let you know that the morning time is more productive than the afternoon. The moon is void starting at 1:18 p.m. PDT. So with that being said, get up and get after it. The Aries moon sextile Saturn in Aquarius, which is productive, which is drawn to challenges and wanting to solve them in a rational way. And then the Aries moon trines the Leo sun. This is the disseminating moon phase, which is all about sharing, connecting, mentoring, and collaborating. So a great time to work with others, connect, empower other people, celebrate their strengths and their abilities. Then the moon's void at 1:16. Closing aspect is the Aries moon squaring Pluto and Capricorn. Little tense. But I would definitely say, if possible, get up, get after it so that you can, maybe some of you can leave work, go for a happy hour networking or something of the nature, or maybe just pretend that you're typing. Just kidding. I mean, we can't avoid all things when the moon's void, but I just want you to avoid important tasks, okay? Because it's considered that it's not a very fertile time for new initiatives to grow. And honestly, with Mercury trine Uranus, maybe you can, you know, network or collaborate or connect with individuals. It's not very productive to be sitting at a computer, especially with Aries moon, which is energetic and restless. And with the square to Pluto, there can be feelings of like overwhelmed, or it's like, forget this, I want to go do something. And then the moon enters Taurus at 7:22 p.m., which draws our awareness to what we can see and touch and taste and smell, sensual delights. So you might be saying, okay, Haley Comet, you know, we lost half of the day on Tuesday because of the void moon. Gosh darn it. Please tell me that Wednesday is very productive. I can't tell you that. I cannot tell you that at all, because the Taurus moon does square Venus and Leo. This is an extravagant vibe. This is a lazy vibe. This is not a very productive vibe. This is the sort of vibe when you take your coworkers out to lunch and you guys get lots of appetizers and lots of sugary drinks and you're just like not in the mood to do work. It's just a little bit more lazy. It's not as productive. It's sort of just like, it's luxurious, certainly, with the Taurus moon and the Venus and Leo. You want to dress nice, you want things to smell nice, you want the pastry, you don't want to pick appetizer, you want all 12. But in regards to our work and our responsibilities, you know, it might not be necessarily that productive. We can be a little bit more, I don't want to call it lazy, but maybe just a little bit more languid, a little bit more slow, a little bit more patient with ourselves and others. And on Wednesday the 17th, the moon is also answering to Venus in Leo, and it's building to trine Jupiter. And this is like the sort of vibe, like, there's nothing wrong with being lazy and lax and enjoying your world, but this is the energy where, you know, we're just in the mood to do it big. We're just feeling optimistic. We're like, I don't need to take on more sales calls. I'll hit my quota. I'm just gonna go do my thing. Or the sort of energy will like, I don't feel like doing that today. I'll do it tomorrow. It's not a bad thing, but it's a time that you could be really in the mood to just celebrate and want to enjoy life and grab drinks after work and not necessarily be as discerning. We don't always have to be discerning, but I'm just letting you know, with the Venus trine Jupiter, we can get a little spendy. We're in the mood to enjoy life. Like, this is very much the vibe on vacay, where it's just like lazy. You just want to lie by the pool. You want to drink fun pina coladas. You just want to enjoy life. You're feeling expansive. You're feeling abundant. Somehow, I mean, here in the Northern Hemisphere, that is, summer is almost over, which personally, I'm confused by. I don't know where summertime went, and this feels like a nice last hurrah energy. We're just like, let's just make the most of this season. Like, I know that technically Virgo season is summer too, but for some reason it doesn't feel like it because the focus is back on our responsibilities and what it is that we have to do. So all I'm saying is that with this Wednesday, you might not be as hardworking, and is that a problem? It's not. If you need to not go to work and go to the beach, not an issue. If you need to get multiple appetizers at lunch and maybe not be as productive as work, so be it. It's your last hurrah. It's your summer. Live your life. I'm not judging you. So on Thursday, the Venus trine Jupiter aspect exacts at around 1 a.m. So we're going to feel this build Wednesday night as well as on Thursday. And we're in the mood to enjoy life. We're in the mood to expand pleasure and love and leisure and money, both ways. That's the thing about Jupiter. It expands it coming in, but it expands it going out. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like this week definitely has this holiday vacation. It's not real life vibe. And I'm not demonizing it, honestly. It's the end of summer. Live your life. Go out, say yes to the date. Buy the dress. Look cute. Live. Venus and Leo wants you to live. Hey loves, editing me here. Please forgive the quick interruption. I just wanted to highlight some ways that you can really seize and maximize this abundant and expansive Venus trine Jupiter aspect. Because if we draw the focus back from just this week and look at the planet of love, beauty, sweetness, Venus, throughout the month of August, she's a stressed planet, okay? She's not having a particularly great time. And this week she is. So let's maximize it. Let's find the sweetness and the abundance in life. So I wanted to highlight with Venus trine Jupiter, this is a really lovely time around anything having to do with beauty. So if you wanted to get a haircut, if you wanted to get some furniture, if you wanted to do a facial, really lovely to expand both like aesthetics as well as just feeling beautiful, feeling worthy, because Venus is also our value system. Venus is money, so a lot of us may be feeling a little bit more abundant. Granted, Venus is under stress this month, and I just feel like financially, recession-wise, a lot of people are a little panicked about resources. So if that's not the case for you, if you don't have the sense of feeling very abundant financially, I really want you to draw into what areas of your life you do feel abundant. I was having a call with my mentor the other day, and I was complaining about how I have so many ideas, and I'm being asked to sort of not implement them, obviously, because Mars is about to go retrograde, and I really need to focus on what I've already taken on my plate. But I get all of these ideas all of the time of things that I want to do or projects that I want to initiate. And my mentor was saying, like, that is true abundance, like having an abundance of ideas. And I was like, that is such a good point. That's a form of abundance to celebrate. If you have a lot of time, really celebrating the abundance of time, celebrating the abundance of love and connection within your world, friendship love, romantic love. I did deeply talk about romance within this video, but I also want to highlight this is also great about connecting, especially Venus has to do with more feminine matters. So great time to get together with the girlies, anything of that nature. And with Venus trine Jupiter, maybe do something to celebrate yourself. Maybe, buying something that you've had your eye on or something that makes you feel worthy, because with Venus and Leo, it really speaks to honor our inner king, our inner queen. Leo is the royalty archetype. And with the trine in Jupiter, there is this really good vibe around feeling genuinely worthy of these things and really stepping up as the regal individual that we are. So just want to pop in and share that. Have a lovely Venus trine Jupiter. Please do something to celebrate yourself, celebrate the love in your life, the beauty in your life, the sweetness in your life. That's also abundance. If you can live your world and find those little pockets of beauty, looking at the sky, looking at its particular shade, looking at your dog, and really present in that moment, that is also abundance. Find some space midweek to sink into those moments, expand them, feel good about them, and feel optimistic about your journey forward. And also, date night is also great with Venus trine Jupiter. Talk about future plans, where it is you guys want to travel, feel optimistic about the connection. Enjoy! So there feels to be a restless vibe on Thursday morning as the moon builds to conjoin Uranus and Taurus. This is restless. This is being at work and looking outside and being like, ugh, I want to be at the beach like I was yesterday. Why do I have so many responsibilities? And I do want to let you know the responsibilities could feel a bit crushing because the Taurus moon does square Saturn about midday. You're able to get through them though, like with the Taurus moon trine Mercury and Virgo. Make a list, check it twice, give yourself something nice to look forward to that night, to be able to muscle through your tasks and your responsibilities, because Venus trine Jupiter does want to enjoy its life. It wants to expand pleasure, but the Taurus moon squaring Saturn in Aquarius and trining Mercury and Virgo is like, hey, okay, we need to look at this. So like this is a vibe on the vibe check where you're on vacay having this great time and there's like a message from your boss like, please fix, or something went down when you were on vacay that you need to address and help out with. And it's just like, just muscle through it, solve it, and then by afternoon, you'll be by the pool with pina colada in no time. In that evening, I do want to let you know that there is a last quarter moon, and this is a callback to last week's Aquarius full moon. You can check out the deep dive video to see what sort of harsh truth the Aquarius full moon was bringing up within your chart and within your life. I do want to let you know that it can bring up feelings of crisis or overwhelm or anything of the nature, particularly if that Aquarius full moon was significant for you. It could be this energy around, gosh, every single analogy that's coming to my mind is bad. It's like not good. The ones that came to mind were like do or unalive, and I can't say that one because YouTube doesn't like that, or poop or get off the pot, and that's just like gross. But do you get what I'm saying? Okay, this is a better one. Let's go with this. The vibe when you're getting on an airplane and it's either like you either step on the airplane or you stay on the tarmac. Like there is no in between. I guess you have one foot in, but there's other passengers behind you. It's like you gotta pick. Are you getting on the flight or you're not? That's a vibe with last quarter moon around, okay, are we doing this or not? What do I need to let go of? Like what was that full moon bringing to the surface? And am I ready to like take action to release it and to clear more space? Because we're in the waning moon, which is more so about shedding and releasing. So with that being said, I do want to let you know this feels like the vibe going back to the vacay around having to say goodbye. And it's like, okay, are we gonna continue this connection? Are we gonna continue flirting, or is it done? And it's like, things can be done. They can just be beautiful, and they can be this Bora Bora romance, and that's that. And this last quarter moon, maybe there's some emotions tied into it, letting go of a particular chapter, a particular era. The moon does sextile Neptune in Pisces shortly before, so be mindful when it comes to daydreaming. What could be? Well, I could fly to Minnesota. We could make it work. It's like sometimes things just need to be what they are and you can appreciate them. Watch the daydreams. A daydream here and there is fine, but don't get carried away. And with the last quarter moon, just being willing to release, whether it's something external within your world or like just an internal habit or pattern that you're ready to sort of rid yourself as we prep for the Virgo new moon next week. And then that evening, the Taurus moon trines Pluto and Capricorn, so make sure to get yourself something lovely to reward yourself for the hard work that you did. It's nice that we have this little earthy grand trine. So while you might not be in the mood to deal with the responsibilities, like, oh, well, I'm on vacay getting please fix emails, if we just sort of muscle through them, get yourself something nice to treat yourself later that evening, and just expand pleasure and loveliness. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to do that. Like with Taurus moon, it's all about just things that are beautiful, things that taste nice, things that feel nice. Like live from your senses and expand your senses with the Taurus moon, especially when the Taurus moon's answering to Venus building to trine Jupiter. Love it. Love this week's astrology. We deserve it. On Friday, the 19th, the moon conjoins Mars around 4 a.m., at which point it is void until it enters Gemini around 5 a.m. So only a 1 hour void moon. That is great. And Friday feels like a good energy. It's building to sextile Jupiter in Aries. So again, with this social vibe, we're in the mood to connect and collaborate. We had that moment where it's like, we'll always have Bora Bora. And, we had to make that choice with the crisis point around, okay, are we going to continue talking or not? What's the vibe? And on Friday, it sort of just seeks to this energy around, okay, maybe you're home now or whatever, but you remember what it felt like to go up and start this conversation and have this beautiful connection with someone and just want to be in the mood to luxuriate and enjoy and eat delicious food and learn about all these things and just expand what's lovely about life. This is such a great vacation aspect. Can you let me know, is anyone on vacation this week? Because Venus trine Jupiter is the best time to be on a vacay, truly. You're in the mood to eat and dance and live and laugh and love and all of the things that the sign says. But with this vibe, it's the energy around coming home, and it's like, okay, I remember what it was like to go up and start this conversation. Maybe that connection is done, but I can do that. Like, now that I've done that, I'm training this muscle around being more open to start conversations, because you never know what could happen if you dare to say hello. So with Gemini moon, ask people questions, be genuinely interested in the answers, and be optimistic around starting new conversations and making new contacts. Great networking day, great writing day, great socializing day. Just a great day. The one downside I do want to say about Friday the 19th is that Mars is at the anaretic degree. It did conjoin the moon very early in the morning. And just to give more context on the anaretic degree is the 29th degree and imbues the placement with a bit of urgency. And with Mars at the anaretic degree, it's almost like this now or never vibe. So I just want to say, you know, people could be a little bit more aggressive, be careful on the road. And you also could be feeling this now or never energy around, gotta launch this thing or gotta reach out to this person. Like, definitely be open to connecting, as I've been sharing, but don't feel like you need to or put like unnecessary pressure on yourself. As well as the following day is when Mercury enters its shadow. So maybe where you're feeling this pressure is around, oh, I gotta like get this project out so that I can use Mercury retrograde to refine it. Everything is unfolding according to divine timing. It doesn't need to be pretty wrapped up with a bow. That's what Mercury retrograde's for. All I want you to be conscious of is planting the seeds. Planting the seeds so you can use the retrogrades to water the seeds, to work on them, to refine, to prune, all of those things. Just plant the seeds. Try not to feel urgent or to feel frustrated or to feel impatient. So on Saturday the 20th, Mars enters Gemini and it settles in for the long haul, my friend. It's there for 7 months. 7 months Mars is in Gemini, and this is good because now it's out of Taurus. So we can find, you know, we're a little bit more energetic, which, my goodness, I'm so ready for this. I am so ready for this. I don't know if anybody else has felt in an utter battle with time. I feel like I've been fist fighting time, trying to find motivation, trying to get everything done. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm moving through molasses? My gosh, I just feel like no matter how much I do every day, there's still so much I didn't get to. And then when I'm trying to make myself do things, it's like really hard. I don't know. It's been interesting with Mars and Taurus. So I'm looking forward to Mars and Gemini, even though I know it's gonna pull up a lot within my chart. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, with Mars in Gemini, what can we expect collectively? So here's the thing about Gemini. It is interested, it is curious, it is interested in all of the things, right? It's the energy of the twins. So we can find multitasking works best at this time. Like if you notice this particular project feels really blocked, maybe circulate it between a different project that you're working on, and working on that project frees up creative power for the initial project. Like with Mars and Gemini, you need to follow your curiosity, you need to follow your mind. The frustrating thing is you could be more distracted. With Mars and Taurus, we were a little bit more intentional about our energy and how we used it. With Mars and Gemini, we're interested in everything, we're distracted, we're like, oh, this looks fun, what about this? It's very much shiny object syndrome. We can use this to our advantage. Like certainly with Mars and Gemini, it does ramp up our gift of the gab, our desire to want to communicate, as well as our multitasking. Gemini rules the twins, twins is 2, right? So typically working on 2 projects works best during this time, following our interests. Make sure to write to-do lists, write things down to make sure they get done. It can be very creative and inspired, but just important that you have follow through, because Gemini knows a little about a lot, and you know, follow through isn't always top of their priority list. So just important to be mindful of that, particularly with, you know, the retrogrades really going to work this particular area of our life. I do have a deep dive on it, so I don't want to go too deep here, but I do want to let you know that it is going to call into question how it is that you use your energy, and if you're doing too many things, if you are spread too thin. Mars and Gemini is going to make you look at that, okay? And so I don't want you to feel, particularly pre-retrograde shadow, if you're like, oh, well, I have to do something because Haley Comet said we have to do something, so we're working on it during Mercury retrograde. Don't force it, okay? Like Mars retrograde is going to make you look at how it is that you use your energy. I just share that in case there's something that you like really want out there before the end of the year. I would plant some seeds now, because towards the end of the year, either Mercury or Mars will be retrograde. So just something I want you to be cognizant of. No need to force it. No need to add another thing to your plate if you're already burnt out or exhausted, because Mars retrograde is going to make you look at that. And then on Saturday the 20th, the Gemini moon sextiles Venus in Leo and sextiles Chiron in Aries. So really nice. You're going to get so sick of me saying this, but really nice for connection, putting yourself out there, initiating conversations. Say yes to going to that party. Say yes to that date. Like say yes to life. Say yes to going to that museum. Seek to learn something new. Seek to learn something new about someone else. Really heighten curiosity during this time, because that's when we really learn the most, is when we're listening more than talking. Even though, you know, when we're on this vacation dalliance, and sometimes it's fun to experiment with different ways of narrating our life or explaining who it is that we are, sometimes just meeting new people and understanding their perspective, we can get acquainted with a whole realm of life that we had never known about, or we can see what it's like to live in Minnesota. So just like ask questions about people, even if it's just a Bora Bora romance, even if it's just that one date, maybe you can learn something new about fly fishing or whatever they're into. Like a fun fact I just learned from someone the other day was, and maybe I'm the only one who didn't know this, but Michelin star restaurants is like based on the tire company, like that is where it's designated from. And the Guinness World Records are from Guinness beer. It's like, why are beer companies setting records and why are tire companies deciding good restaurants? I love a good fun fact, but maybe everybody knew that. And I do want to say about this weekend, this aspect technically exacts on Sunday, but I want to put it in Saturday too, just so you're aware, because it happens so early on Sunday, we're going to feel it Saturday too. Give yourself the weekend off. Give yourself the weekend off. You're not going to be very productive at all. So just be gentle with yourself. Mercury in Virgo is opposing Neptune in Pisces. This can be inspired, but it can also be confused. How I typically experience this transit is I just literally feel out of body. Life feels like a dream. I feel more lazy. I feel more tired. It can be really great when it comes to like daydreaming, visualization, creativity, as I highlighted, but it's not the time that we're necessarily super attuned to the facts and figures. Typically Mercury in Virgo is, but right now it's being blinded by Neptune, so it's really not seeing clearly. So just being mindful. Stick to things that are more big picture, that are more artistic, that are more ethereal. Like it's not the time that I would do your taxes. Do you get what I mean? And then on Sunday morning, so we have that Mercury opposite Neptune exacting. So again, watch dreams. Your dreams could have a message for sure. So write down your dreams when you wake up, because the Gemini moon also squares up with Neptune and with Mercury, who it's answering to. So definitely pay attention to your dreams, to your intuition. You know, Mercury in Virgo wants a why and a fact and a figure. Like, why do you feel like you should go to this art exhibition? And you're like, I don't know, I just feel drawn to it. Like the Virgo Mercury could be judging it, but I really want you to follow those little nudges and follow those feelings and those synchronicities and those little signs that you get and your dreams and seeing repeated numbers. Like dive into the woo-woo, okay, on Sunday morning, and just try to spend some time within your spiritual world, because when it comes to practicalities, it's like the laundry is just not gonna feel as enticing. Hey loves, editing me here. Just want to pop in and mention that our imaginations can run wild with this Mercury opposite Neptune influence. And yes, maybe in lovely, creative, imaginative ways would be very Neptunian, but also imagining the worst case outcome or trying to plan for every potential outcome of your world. I highlight that especially since it is Mercury in Virgo, which can be a very, very worrywart influence. And we also have the Gemini moon answering to that Mercury opposite Neptune. Both Gemini and Virgo is overthinking city. So I just want you to find some contentment around, we truly do not know all of the answers, and we do not know how our future will unfold, and know how much we control and plan. There's always going to be things that are outside of our control, and it truly does not even a little bit of good to try to plan or envision all the potential outcomes. And of course, it's not that easy as having a light switch and just being like, okay, let me just turn my anxiety off. Not that at all. But I just want you to be conscious if you do feel that influence, like up late on Saturday or on Sunday morning, around having anxiety around what's coming next. That's why I'm deeply recommending kind of connecting with the woo-woo or the ethers or anything that gives you a sense of contentment in the big picture or gives you a sense of peace in the not knowing. And then the moon is void that afternoon around 3 p.m. Closing aspect is the Gemini moon sextile the Leo sun. So we are officially with this aspect in the waning crescent moon phase, which is a time about resting and coming inward. So maybe you're socialized out, right? Especially when the moon enters Cancer, in the mood for a really cozy, lovely evening at home, cook a nice meal, all of the things. So play with the ethers, play with the woo-woo, maybe make the Virgo placements happy a bit by cleaning up, but infuse some woo-woo into your cleaning up. Like while you're cleaning your house, burn some incense or listen to a spiritual podcast or something that nourishes the spirit while you clean the home, and you'll really enjoy it because that evening the moon enters Cancer. So settle into your clean home. Oh, isn't that the best feeling when your house is clean and you light a candle and you make a good meal? Oh my gosh, that is so good. And that's what I'm hoping for you on Sunday, especially with the Gemini moon sextile Leo sun. Great day to consciously expand fun and enjoyment of life. And then that evening, just cuddle up, feel cozy, feel safe when the moon enters Cancer. And we are officially in the waning crescent moon, which is typically a time that we feel more inclined to want to come inward, to rest. Maybe we're socialized out from all these social aspects, so we're in the mood to be by yourself, and that is totally okay. You are resting, you are calling in energy for your new start come the Virgo new moon, which I will be doing a dedicated video on. Thank you so much for your feedback for those who watched the Aquarius full moon video. I decided I'm going to take on trying every single lunation, taking it house by house so you can sort of see where this energy is coming to life within your chart. So if you are interested in that, look out for that. I do post a new video every single Friday, whether it's a lunation or some other astrological topic. Loves the Magic Monday mantra of the week is I initiate new connections. That is the vibe this week with, Venus trine Jupiter, which is great for love and romance as well as money. I also want to highlight, this is why I chose this mantra, is because Venus trine Jupiter is expansive when it comes to our income, and connection can also be, connecting with new businesses to pitch our services, or new bars to do comedy at, or new shows to write for, anything of that nature. Sometimes we have to be bold. We have to be able to walk in and initiate the conversation. The Jupiter aspects are meeting you halfway by imbuing you with optimism and with luck, truly, and finding the right person at the right time who can enrich in your world. So whether you are open to new connections within love and romance, new connections in business, new connections in friendships, I want you to not only be open to them, but initiate them. Channel the bold spirit of Jupiter and Aries. And I'm right there with you guys. Like if anybody's hearing this and they're like, ugh, I am definitely not the one where this comes natural too, but I'm challenging myself right along with you guys. Loves, my Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. My TikTok is the same. I would love to connect with you over there. Thank you so much for watching towards the end. I appreciate every single one of you. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.